Starbaker is the latest title in Destiny 2 which arrived for the Dawning event this year. As well as the title itself, there's plenty of rewards along the way, and today I'm going to dive into how to get the Starbaker title, plus also some tips on how to complete all the triumphs nice and quickly. Well, if you're new around here or find this useful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for all the latest Destiny 2 content, and turn on notifications by hitting that bell, and roughly 98% of viewers who watch This Week in Video Games aren't subscribed. So subscribe today and never miss an update. But you can find your seals and titles when you open up your character screen and navigate to the left. So you'll see the Starbaker title bottom left of the list, and that is where you can cross-reference your objectives for the event. You can also use the event card, of course, but personally I find the title screen much easier to follow. Okay, let's dive into each of the triumphs and check out some tips for each one. Well, first of all, we've got Dawn of the Dawning. So first one, nice and easy. It's part of the introduction quest for the Dawning. So take the ingredients you get from Eva, combine them in the oven, and then bake a cookie for Zavala. Give it to him, and then that's it. Next up, we've got Amateur Baker. So for this one, you need to bake 6 cookies, and you can follow the event quest if you want to. That certainly made it easier for me. Next up, we've got Adept Baker. So this one is very similar to the previous one, although this time you have to bake 13 cookies. Well, next up we've got Expert Baker. So this time you have to bake 20 cookies. There's 22 cookies in total. You have to bake one of each. So baking the same one every time doesn't work for this triumph. So regarding baking cookies, you're going to need plenty of Essence of Dawning and ingredients. Essence of Dawning can be farmed from the investigation mission in the Witch Queen campaign, or you can just simply do strikes, crucible, gambit matches, or whatever activity you enjoy. Given you have to do playlist activities for other triumphs, it's definitely worth doing those activities, because you just have to do them anyway. Now, if you want to farm for ingredients, Altars of Sorrow is a good bet, and that one could be found on the moon. Next up, we got Shopping Spree. So for this one, you have to purchase 12 upgrades from Eva with Dawning Spirit. You want to get the first few upgrades ASAP, as one of them allows you to randomly get Dawning Spirit through kills. And this one is a perk for using the exotic ship Starfarer 7M, and you can purchase the full upgrade from Eva this season. So if you've got that Starfarer 7M from a previous Dawning event, then you can buy that upgrade and you are good to go. And to purchase the upgrades, you are going to need Dawning Spirit. That can be acquired from delivering cookies. This one is the triumph that took the longest for me, and I farmed out Essence of Dawning from the investigation mission in the Witch Queen campaign, and then baked a whole load of cookies. You can also get Dawning Spirit from completing Dawning bounties from Eva. Well, next up we've got Snowball Ops. So for this one, you have to defeat 100 combatants with snowballs in the Vanguard Ops playlist. This one doesn't take too long, but jump into Vanguard Ops, watch out for the pile of snowballs, and kill as many enemies as possible. Next up, we've got Snowball Dares. So this one is very similar to the previous one, although for this one, you have to defeat 100 combatants with snowballs in Dares of Eternity. We can find Dares of Eternity on Eternity, and you can get that by the Director. Next up, we have Thunder Snow. So defeat combatants or guardians with arc weapons or abilities. For this one, I equipped my Arc subclass and then used Arc weapons in my energy in the power slot, and I paired this up with Vanguard Ops runs or Throne World activities. This way you can be working towards more than one triumph at the same time, and then Trinity Ghoul and Wrist Runner are really good for this triumph. Next up we have Deep Freeze, so defeat combatants or guardians with stasis weapons or abilities. So for this one, put on your stasis subclass and weapons, and head into Vanguard Ops, Gambit, Crucible, or Throne World activities. Similar to the last one, try to make progress on multiple triumphs at the same time. Next up, we got Snow Melt, so defeat combatants or guardians with solar weapons or abilities. Same as before, just put on your solar weapons and subclass to complete Vanguard Ops, Gambit, Crucible, or Throne World activities. Next up, we got They Call It Snow. This time, you want to defeat combatants or guardians with void weapons or abilities, and that is the same as the previous ones. And then we've got Vanguard Eternity, so complete Vanguard Ops or Dares of Eternity activities. Vanguard Ops does give you slightly more with 17% completion rate compared to Dares, which is about 16%, although really we're only quibbling over 1%. Now for this one, I would say Vanguard Ops are probably the shorter activities, so if you want to get this one done quickly, Vanguard Ops would be my advice. Next we have Competitive Spirit, so complete Crucible or Gambit matches. I did this one in Gambit as it was the quicker playlist to complete activities. If Mayhem is available, then that would be the best option, but Mayhem isn't guaranteed as a Crucible playlist option. Next up, we've got Nightmare Seraph before dawning. So complete Nightmare Containments or Heist Battlegrounds. Nightmare Containments are definitely the shorter activity here. Heist Battlegrounds are very, very long, sometimes over 20 minutes. Nightmare Containments have the advantage of being public events, so you can load into the Derelict Leviathan, and one of those public events may be in progress already. So if you're lucky, a team will already be on Tier 3, meaning you can get in there quickly and complete that triumph nice and easy. Next up, we've got When Light Comes to Dawning. So you want to complete activities in Savathun's Throne World. For this one, I completed Lost Sectors over and over, and I paired this up with doing my subclass kills at the same time. For example, getting Arc, Solar, Stasis and Void kills, and making sure I was always making progress on multiple triumphs at the same time. Well, finally, for the regular triumphs, we've got Bake Extravaganza, so you want to bake 50 cookies. This one is definitely going to drain your materials, but it is fairly straightforward. You can run through that main quest, which will have you baking and delivering cookies to vendors. However, here, you can cook the same cookie over and over again, so if you can find a good farming spot, for example, the opening to the Grasp of Avarice dungeon, or the Altars of Sorrow on the Moon, or you can go to Shuro-Chi in the Last Wish raid, you can farm the Hive or Taken for ingredients, and then use them to bake easy cookies. So for example, dark chocolate motes require Vex Milk and Null Taste, both of which can be gathered from the Shuro-Chi checkpoint. We are going to need loads of Essence of Dawning as well, and for that I would farm the Investigation mission on Savathun's Throne World, or you can speedrun the Lake of Shadows, and that is on the EDZ. Gambit is also a quick way to farm Essence of Dawning if you end up getting bored of doing the same thing over and over again. Well, then we've got the Gilded Triumphs, which you can do if you want. You know, these are just variations on the previous Triumphs under the general theme of doing more. So first of all, we've got Frozen Doom, defeat combatants with snowballs. Then you've got Reason for the Season, give 100 Dawning gifts to vendors. You've got Joyous Spirit, so spend 500 Dawning Spirit. And finally, you've got Cheerful Destruction, that is defeat 2,000 combatants with Dawning weapons. Well, congratulations, once you've got all of the regular Triumphs done, you can equip your Star Baker title, and you can show off your dedication to the Dawning event for 2022. It's also worth noting as well, this contributes to the Reveler seal, and that is going to be available once we get the Guardian games next spring, so really, really looking forward to that. Well, let me know in the comments what you think about the Star Baker title grind. Personally, I think it was much easier than Festival of the Lost. It wasn't too bad, probably apart from the Savathun Throne World activities. I really enjoy getting these titles and seals, and getting the physical version, which you can buy from the Bungie store. Well, that is it for this guide for how to get the Star Baker title in Destiny 2. As always, thank you so much for watching or listening. For more Destiny 2 content like this, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. Or you can check me out on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. Well, if you enjoyed this video and found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the videos on the channel. Well, thanks again, and I'll see you soon.